one theme setter, and I will introduce while we go along. So we have Dr. Sz-Davaasûrэнg, and I would like to ask her to start with a few introductory words as a theme setter on our topic of financial inclusion landscape of innovation.
Hypothesis confirmed by the empirical research, there is a positive correlation between countries' financial market development and its innovation. Then half century later, Ross Levine also conducted economic research on financial market contribute to the economic development. And innovation is the link that connects financial market and economic growth. But now we can smell it. Fintech companies and products and services are emerging in the financial market. The survey was conducted using a total of 7 groups of questionnaire taken from randomly selected 1,600 adults. From the result of the survey, Mongolia stands in the same level among the developed countries according to the financial inclusion. The study shows that 94.5% of Mongolians are somehow included in formal financial services like commercial banks, non-bank financial institutions, savings and credit cooperatives. According to the survey, there is no gender gap in financial inclusion in Mongolia. Actively facilitate and regulate the product and services because its potential economic and social benefit. There is a question whether we observe or ban or move forward. The second of all, there is many standard-setting bodies have also issued guidelines and standards for the financial sector that are relevant for fintech, like Basel Committee's core principles are relevant for assessing innovation in banking and the interaction between banks and fintech firms. The IS core objectives and principles are relevant for application for fintech in securities market. So then there is the question, what are the next steps and key questions on it? Thank you very much for the attention.
Thank you very much, Dr. Davaasûrэнg. I think this sets up us very well for the discussion, it's interesting to see the connection, also like going back to economics theory between inclusion and innovation, and the results you have achieved in Mongolia. Let me ask one quick question as a follow-up, and that is on the gender gap. So I was really impressed to see and to hear from you that there's a gender gap of, I think, 0.3 percentage points in Mongolia, and we have heard about some examples, some other countries where this is much higher.
It is pretty much based on my own observation. Actually, we do have nomadic history, nomadic culture, and nomadic lifestyle. And Mongolians have inherited this culture and lifestyle. So this culture defines household members' responsibility, who do what, and their daily chores. Basically, our ancestors, they usually men, travel away from home for a long period of time, taking care of their livestock. During his absence, women take care of day-to-day activities, manage everything, and they take care of their children. So, which gives for Mongolian women more opportunities to be independent, to be more decisive, and also the leading role in the family, on the one hand. And second of all, Mongolia is the first country in Asia ratified the constitution granting women the right to vote, and back in 1924. Mongolia is the second socialist country in the world after Russia. So during this 70 years of socialist regime, all the girls and the boys goes to the school. They're adopted very good education. This becomes another good source for the gender equality, I think. And then, if you see the recent statistics, employment status for women is 60% of the civil servants are women, 70% of the financial industries are women, 80% of educational industry they are women, 90% of the health sector employees are women. So it basically says, yes, gender, I'm now, see that in terms of financial inclusion, it is around 95%.
Yes, that's very impressive. And I think there's a study to do by our colleagues from Findex to look at correlations between pastoralist societies, employment, and constitutional rights to vote among women, and whether there's any correlation with financial inclusion. Maybe that's important.